Today's letter is the letter W. W is for watermelon. So today I'm going to show you how to draw this cute little watermelon with coloring pencils. This is an easy beginner drawing lesson for kids of all ages. So let's begin. Hi everyone, welcome to Rain Francis Art for Kids. My name is Rain. In this series, Alphabet Soup, we choose a letter from the alphabet and we draw food that starts with that letter. So let's draw. This is what you'll need for today's drawing lesson. You're going to need a piece of paper. I have my dollar store drawing pad out here. It's 8.5 by 11 inches wide. I've got a pencil. I have an eraser. I have my old paintbrush that I use to dust off my page. Make sure you have one that you haven't used for paint though. I have my black fine tip marker for outlining because I love to outline. I have a black Sharpie. It's got a thicker tip so it makes it easier to color in large areas in black. You're also going to need some color. I have a green color. I have a dark pink color, and I have a little cream color. Now this one's optional because you know on a watermelon, when you have the green rind, and then you have a little bit of, there's always a little bit of a white in between the pink and the green, or the red and the green of the watermelon. So if you have like a cream color or something like that, you can use it. If not, you don't need it at all. So why don't I clear off my space and we can begin. Let's draw a watermelon, but first, let's write out the word watermelon. This is alphabet soup, so we're learning how to spell as well. So W is for watermelon. Let's draw a capital W and a small w. They look pretty much the same. Now let's spell watermelon. That's capital W, A, T, E, R, M, E, L, O, and N. Watermelon. There we go. Something nice for the summer. Okay, now we're drawing a slice of watermelon. Now watch what I'm doing. I'm just going to draw a straight line right away. Right across. Okay, and I'm going to draw a semicircle. This is our watermelon right here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw another straight line, but I'm not going to attach it. Watch. Just a little straight line on each side. And I'm going to draw two more semicircles, but I don't want them to touch this piece here, okay? See what I'm doing here? It's a little lopsided, but that's all right. And again with this side here. We're drawing the green rind area here that we're going to color in green. And that part in the middle, you can leave that white, or I'm going to color it in with a cream color. Okay, so what we'll do is, the first thing we'll do is we're going to draw a bite mark because someone took a bite out of this already. So it's just going to be a couple of round kind of squiggly lines here. That's the bite mark. And what we can do right away is go and erase this line here in between so that it really looks like someone took a bite out of this melon slice here. And if you accidentally erase anything, don't worry about it. Just go back in with your pencil and draw it right back in, like I'm doing here. Okay? I actually have some pencil on my hand and it smudged everything here. Okay, now let's take our pencil and we're going to draw some big eyes on her. She's a she today. So some really big round eyes. All right. And inside the eyes, we'll draw another sort of semicircle for her pupils. And we'll put in the details like her smile and things like that after, okay? So why don't we begin with our green color? We're going to draw this piece here. Not draw, we're going to color all of this piece in green. Okay? And if you're using coloring pencils today, you don't have to press down very hard, all right? Because we're going to add more color after, and I'll show you when the time comes. But if you follow my drawing lessons, you already know that we're going to add layers, and I'll explain all of that after for those of you who are new here, and for those of you who don't know what layers are. But let's color in the rind, and if you're using a coloring pencil, turn it once in a while so you don't wear it all down on one side, all right? Don't forget to turn your pencil. There we go. So I've got my first layer done. Now a layer, all that means is that you've colored it in once. If we want to color it in a second time, that means we're adding a second layer. So you see, we're adding a second layer of color. That's why I told you you don't have to press down hard, because all you have to do is add layers. You color it in 2 times to have 2 layers. You color it in 3 times to have 3 layers. And you can already see the difference between 2 and 1 layer. 2 layers is much nicer. I usually stop at 2, but I'll leave that up to you. If you want to add a 3rd or a 4th layer, just turn your pencil as you go and don't press down hard. You can add as many layers as you want to get the color that you really like. That's a little trick for you. When you're coloring, just use layers. Don't wear out your hand by pressing hard all the time. There we go. So my rind is done. I'm just going to erase a little spot here. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is take my dark pink color, and I'm going to fill in the entire watermelon, the inside part, but not the eyes, okay? Around that bite mark. See how sharp my pencil is? As long as I don't press down too hard and I turn it once in a while, I won't have to sharpen it for a while. Sometimes the tips break, but most of the time if you're pressing down really lightly, you won't have to sharpen it. You can finish your drawing without sharpening your pencil. I'm just being really careful right now not to get any of that pink into the bite mark or into her eyes. I think I decided she was a she today because she's pink. That's probably why. Don't forget to turn your pencil. We're using a lot of color today because this is a big slice of watermelon. Okay, I'm going to be careful again here around her eyes. Don't forget to turn your pencil once in a while, my friends. You could do this with markers as well. I drew this with markers one time and it looked really nice. But I just felt like using my coloring pencils today. All right, I'm going to fill in the entire melon here. And we'll add details later. We're going to add some seeds and we're going to give her some
eyebrows and eyelashes and a big, big smile. But let's focus on getting the color in first. Turn your pencil once in a while. You see how I'm holding my pencil? I'm not holding it like this. I'm holding it on using the side of the pencil. If you color with the side of your pencil, it kind of forces you not to press down hard. Now I'm going to be careful not to get any outside the lines here because I want that middle part to stay a light color. I said I'm going to use this cream color, but you could always leave it white. Alright, so I've got my first layer of pink. I'm going to add a second layer. And all that means is I'm coloring it in a second time, right? And I'm not pressing down hard at all. Just remember to turn your pencil. I'm going to see how this looks after adding the second layer. I might have to add a third layer to get a nice deep pink, but we'll see. So far it looks pretty good. Turning my pencil. Being careful around those eyes. Do you guys like watermelon? I love watermelon in the summer. I live in Canada, and here it's not, when you buy it in the winter, it doesn't taste very good, you know? It's like, it's not, it's brought in from very far away because we can't grow watermelon here in the winter because we have snow. But they fly it in from another country, and by the time it gets here, it just doesn't taste as good as it does in the summer, you know? But I like to make watermelon, it's called agua fresca, and that's a Spanish term. Agua means water, fresca means fresh. So watermelon agua fresca. You basically juice a watermelon, get all the juice out of it, take all the seeds out and everything. You juice it and you mix it with water, and it tastes really, really good and sweet. I also really like cantaloupe. That's another melon that I like. See how dull remember how pointy it was before? I'm using a lot of color today. I think I can get this done without having to sharpen it again. And that's because I was turning my pencil. Okay, so my second layer is done. I'm going to just put a quick third layer, just very quickly, just to fill in some of the areas that I think might be a little bit too white still, you know, where you can see the paper through it. I'll leave that up to you. You may just even want to do one layer. And if you're using markers, you don't do layers because markers are vibrant enough without having to add more. You know, don't ever have to add layers when you're using markers. There we go. 3 layers today. Usually I just do 2. I think that looks nice. Now, this is optional, like I said. If you have a nice little cream color or something like that, you can fill it in here. And I'm just going to do one little layer here. No big deal. just to give it a little more color. But like I said, you can leave it white, because when you look at the watermelon slice, you always see kind of a lighter color before you hit the rind. There, that's all I'm doing for color. Now I'm going to take my fine tip black marker and outline everything, because I love to outline. So everywhere that I drew with my pencil, I'm going to outline with my black marker here. Being careful to follow my pencil line. I have to be careful that I don't smudge with my hand. Now I'm paying attention to detail right now, so I can't talk too much while I'm doing this. Now, if you did what I just did, I went outside the pencil line, and you can see a bit of the paper there, so I'm just going to fill that in with green, and nobody has to know. All right, I'm going to keep outlining. And you don't have to do this. I just think it looks really nice when you outline things with a black marker. If you don't have a black marker, you could always use a black coloring pencil. That would work too. All right, now I'm going to do the top with that bite mark. All the way across. There. I'm going to outline her eyes. There we go. My dog is snoring in the background. Now I'm going to take my black Sharpie marker, because like I said, it's a little thicker at the tip and it makes it easier just to fill in large areas. So I'm going to fill in her pupils black. And this side. Her eyes are a little crooked, but that's okay. One is bigger than the other. I'm not looking for perfection here. Okay, what I'm going to do is, while I have my Sharpie out, I'm going to create some seeds. And they're just kind of like this. Some black seeds. Kind of in the shape of a teardrop. And you can put in as many as you want. I'm putting them all around the whole semicircle that we created there. There we go. Lots of seeds. I might draw a few more on this side actually. There. Now I'm going to take that fine tip marker again, that black marker, and give her some eyelashes. Because she's a she. She's a pretty watermelon. And a big smile. There we go. And let's give her some cheeks. You just have to do some semicircles at the end of her smile, and that makes it look like cheeks. I'm just going to go over this again because I didn't press down very hard and it's hard to see. There. I'll do her eyelashes again. I don't know what happened there. My marker wasn't working very well. Is that easier to see now? And I'll give her some eyebrows, and I'm going to put her eyebrows above, like this. One here, and one there. And that's our watermelon. How'd you guys do? Did you enjoy yourself? Now don't forget to sign your work, my friends. I want you to take ownership of the beautiful work of art that you just created. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, my friends, and we'll see you next time on Rain Francis Art for Kids. Thanks for watching. Bye.